Órale, choco los tres chingones boxing shots to all the chingones y chingonas. Man, I don't know why my button got like stuck right there. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into all the stuff that's going on in boxing. I'm a little excited for this one. Let's bring in el gran chingón, el mero one, Mr. Derek Contreras.
Hey, what's going on, Cholo? Ready to start talking about last week's fights, man, and ready to hear Mikey's take on them.
Hey, David, is that an actual studio that you're in? Is it an office? What is it?
You know what? I have a movie theater in my house. We have a movie theater. I converted it into my man cave, and then I'll show you around real quick. I have this is my boxing. I don't know if you could see it. This is my boxing wall. I got Julio Cesar Chavez there. I am with him. His shoes, gloves signed by him. Muhammad Ali. I got everything here. This is my television. That's where my screen is supposed. There is a screen that goes down, and then on this side over here, I got my football, Denver Bronco signed jerseys, Lynch, Elway, Davis, McCaffrey, Reggie Bush, Peyton Manning, and then this is my I love you, David wall. Some of the awards that I received, my degree, and then my liquor, and then this right here. I'm really proud of this one. This is a the gentleman that made the robe for what's his name, Salvador Sanchez. He actually made me this robe in Mexico City. It cost me a lot of money, but the gentleman that literally made it back in the 80s for Salvador Sanchez, he made that for me. And then going up the stairs, I got Muhammad Ali signed gloves. So I converted this into my man cave. And then on my other shows that I have a wall that's set up specifically for that. And then I just have a rollaway desk that I just move it around to that area right there.
Órale,
okay. So I have it set up like that, Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring in the man that puts man in man cave.
That's right.
From Mikey TV 3651, Mr. Mike Zavala.
What's up, gentlemen? Oh man, that was nice. Dave and Ed.
The intro. Show us the arms. Show us the arms, brother. Show us that arm. There you go. That's what it's all about.
Mike Nello.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you got Mile High Hustle in here talking about show them Broncos. Oh, good.
That's right, brother. That's right.
all that orange. You guys are a bunch of orange monsters over there, man. All right, they're having a good year. They're having a damn good year. I'm not hating. Not hating. All right, gentlemen, I know you guys are just excited for tomorrow's fight between Badu Jack and Noel Mikhailian. Awesome, man. Awesome. It is pay-per-view on Prime. So hopefully you guys can go ahead and check that one out, man. Edwin de los Santos is fighting tomorrow as well. I don't know where to find that one at, but I'm just messing with you guys because I have been following Badu Jack's career for a long time. And I think he's like 42 years old now. So I don't even really know how much he got left, but I'll check that one out however I can check it out. But gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's get into the fights that happened over the weekend. First of all, I'll just start real quick with this one. Frank Martin comes out with a win, with a knockout win against Francis Bartholomew. David, does Frank Martin can he salvage his career and still become that guy, or is he just kind of like a gatekeeper? What's he to you?
You know what? I think he could still become that guy. I mean, he's fighting at 140. He looked good against Bartholomew, but brother, Bartholomew's older now. He's a gatekeeper. But you know what? Everybody that was a threat to him is moving up to 147. So I think that he could be a world champion at 140, but he needs to go to 140, get out of 145. 135, I mean.
All right. Mikey, real quick, what's your thoughts on Frank Martin? You think he could still be that guy?
I mean, he does have skills. He was always brought up in the 135 Frank Martin, and he got destroyed. He got knocked out by Tank. Tank only fights tomato cans, if you really think about it. And then I thought Frank was going to do some damage when he fought Tank. He was doing all right, and he got knocked out. I mean, like Dave said, these fighters left. I don't see no one at 140 that comes up in my mind right now. So yeah, he could be the man right now at 140, unless you say some names that are like no. But yeah.
I mean, look, if we go if 140, I don't think he beats Antoine Russell. I don't think he beats
Oh yeah, he
Antoine
can't.
Russell.
And I don't think anybody beats Antoine Russell. I really don't. At 140, I don't think anybody beats him right now.
I think Frank Martin, who he is right now, I think that's who he is. I don't think he's going up. I don't think he's going down. I think he might get other big chances like he got with Tank Davis. As I don't know how big of a chance anybody really believed that was, but he might get shots like that, and then he'll lose whenever the test gets big. I think he'll fail, but I think he can have a couple of good wins here and there, decent to good wins. But I don't think once it gets too high of a level, I think he'll fall and then have like 2-3 good victories, get a big chance again, and then come back down, have another 2-3-4 good victories, work his way up, and then come back down again. I think where Frank Martin is at, I think that's exactly where his career is going to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere else, man. But I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. You know, he came out with a sensational knockout. So that was that was fun to watch for the small time that it lasted. Guys, I'll start with this fight first. The Lara fight. It was it
was a waste of time.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about that. The fact that the fight went the way it went, the knockdowns seemed much more exciting because the fights were pretty boring. But I'll start with you on this one, Mikey. What was your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I mean, it was a late notice fight. And then Lara's a 40-year-old. To tell you the truth, I was zoning out. I was drinking a couple tall cans and I was zoning out. Like, dude, this fight's kind of boring. But he did drop him a couple of times. Like, oh shit, did I just miss that? That was like the exciting part, like you said. But it didn't give me anything. There's nothing I was excited about. He beat a guy late notice, a tomato can. Oh well.
Yeah, David.
You know what? Lara needs to retire. I wish he would have fought Janibek. Yeah. I wanted Janibek to knock him out and just send him into retirement. He's a boring fighter. At least when he used to be younger, he had that Cuban style, which was interesting. It was good because the way he moved his feet. If you studied boxing, he was the perfect specimen of how a boxer at that weight, 160, 154, 147 should fight. But now that he doesn't move, he's just a boring fighter. Dude, he's 41 years old. I mean, who's going to pay to see him? You know what I mean? Who's going to pay to see him? I mean, the next time he fights, I'm not going to watch it unless if he fights Janibek, unless if he fights somebody better. And it put me to sleep, bro. It put me to sleep. You know? Hey, Jesse.
And as of right now, unless anybody knows, but as of right now, I don't even know what's going on with Janibek. I haven't heard any punishment come down. I haven't heard. Obviously, he tested dirty, but I have not heard any other news of what's going on with Janibek. Has anybody?
They should have taken his belt. Do you agree? I mean, they took the belts from Benavides for a dirty test and not making weight. This guy, I mean, they should have taken the belt, right, Mikey?
Yeah, they didn't take the belt.
And they still, well, and they still might. They still might. We don't know. I mean, boxing works. Boxing works in many different ways, but as of right now, I've been trying to check up. I still don't know what's going on with Janibek. I still don't know. There's no punishment that I've seen, unless I didn't catch it. But I haven't seen any punishment come down. I haven't heard anything of Janibek, other than they pulled him from this fight because he popped dirty. Outside of that, it's been silence. So I got no idea. So what's going on at 160? I got no idea, man. Who knows? Lara, we could be stuck with Lara for a while. I don't think this guy wants to retire. I think he's still feeling himself. But yeah, it was a boring fight. And I think Lara to himself, him scoring the knockdowns, I think that actually boosted his ego up a little bit more to say, like, okay, I got it, man. Let's stick around a little bit longer and let's make these fights happen. That's what I'm thinking. I hope not, because I'm with you, David. I just kind of want to see Lara just retire,
Yeah, yeah.
drop the belt, retire, and let somebody else at 160 come around and let's see what he can do, you know. But yeah, I don't want to see Lara anymore. I'm done with that. Gentlemen, let's talk about Mono Ramos versus Mosley Jr. I thought this sucker was fun, man. I really enjoyed this fight. But I'll start with you on this one, David. What do you make? What do you make of this fight?
You know, I disagreed with Mikey, but I mean, I'm telling you, Mikey knows boxing. You know who else knows boxing? Gordo Gordito. He knows boxing. And I'll tell you, Mikey called it. You know, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Great fight? No, it wasn't a great fight. Mono is a one-trick monkey. Literally, I mean, literally, boom, 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 boom. Doesn't follow up. It was a good fight. And you know what? My respect to Mosley, and Mikey called it just right. I mean, he said it was going to be, yeah, actually, I think you said Mosley was going to win, right, Mikey?
I said Moses was going to win, and that Mono's not special. I
he's not
myself.
special. He's not special. No.
Okay, Mikey, you picked Mosley to win this fight. It's time for everybody to come down on Mikey, man. His crystal ball cracked.
He's human. He's human. He makes mistakes.
When I'm wrong, guys, when I'm wrong, I'm close. Pitbull Cruz, I believe he won. They took a point from him. We'll get into that. When I'm wrong, I'm close. I'm close.
Okay.
All right.
You were wrong on this one.
Yeah.
You were wrong on Mosley.
Okay, Mosley Jr. Okay, so there's a 10 age gap. One was 24,
yeah.
Mosley Jr. was 34. Mikey, how'd you see this fight? It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it.
It was a good fight. Mono got hurt a few times, but Mono also hurt Mosey a few times too. They were rock and sock him. Mono's younger. Mono has the better power. Mosey's not. He's not what Mono is. Mono's he's a name, and they're trying to bring him up. He can't even get past Mosey or look good versus. How's he gonna do it? Wait, 160? How's he gonna do it 160 to 168? Right? He's a 160 pounder.
He's a 160 right now. He's really a 154. This is his second fight at 160.
Yeah, Mosey went down in weight, so you know what I mean. He had the advantages. He was younger, everything, and he barely squeezed out a win. Like he looked terrible. He looked terrible. Like, I mean, you think he's good, Ed? Or whoever's watching? Since day one, I'm like, he's not special. He don't got nothing. It's just a guy that just comes forward and he throws. And he had a good close fight with Lubin. Lubin beat him. No, he beat Lubin, or who?
No, Lubin beat him. They gave
Lubin beat him, a controversial win, but he's not special. I put him in there with the Charlos. I don't think they're special. No special effects. He barely won, or he got a win versus Mosey, but he got hurt. His power didn't transition to 160. I don't think he's gonna do damage at 160.
I agree with you. Not special.
Okay. All right. All right. Mono Ramos, I like Mono. I'm a fan of his. You don't have to be special for me to be a fan of yours. Just as long as you put on good fights. If you're fun to watch, I'm down with you. You know, the Riverside Rocky, Josecito Lopez, was never special, but he was always fun to watch.
His heart was special. His heart was special.
Okay, his heart was special. Exactly. His heart was special. Was he going big places? Was he going to be, one of the greatest of all times? No, never. But he was always fun to watch, just like Gabe Rosado, man. Mono Ramos, yeah, he's somewhat of a one-trick pony. I never thought Mosley Jr. was really that good. Especially because his last name is Mosley. It's just you can't help compare it to his dad. He didn't come close to that. He was a decent fighter, but he was nowhere near what his dad ever amounted to be. I thought Mono won pretty convincingly. It was a tough fight, and he had a hard time with Mosley Jr. But at the end of the fight, I was like, Mono definitely won this fight. I don't think it was close enough to say like, "Ooh, man, how did the judges really see this one?" No, it was a tough, competitive fight, but at the end of it, I was like, "Yeah, Mono got this one." So I like Ramos at 160. We just finished talking about 160 with Lara being on there. Look, gentlemen, I think Mono can compete at 160. Maybe he can. I'm
Ed,
not
do
saying
you think Mono, the way he looked, could have beat Lara
He
that night?
struggled with Mosley.
he
I mean, do you think if instead of Gonzalez fighting Lara, the way I said it, I said Mono should be fighting him. Do you
Right.
think he could beat Lara the way he performed against Mosley?
I think he has a chance, David. I'm not saying he can. I'm saying he has a chance. I think I think he can compete with anybody at 160 right now. Not at 154 who moves up or somebody at 168 who moves down. But everybody at 160, the top dogs, I think he can compete. I'm not saying
Bronco
he'll
will knock him out.
You think he
Bronco
can
will knock
compete
him out.
against Bronco?
Huh?
You think he can compete against Bronco? I don't think he can compete
Nah,
against
Bronco will
Bronco.
walk through him. He'll walk through him, man. He got no power.
Yeah, but he's not. Again, man, you're okay. If we think about Yanni Beck, right? If we think about Lara, and you got Carlos Adames, I mean, those are the top three guys. Those are the champs right there. I'm not saying he beats either one of them. I'm saying he can compete. I think he gives them a tough fight. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude.
Yes.
Yeah. Does he have a lot of skills and some great footwork and good maneuvers and everything? No, he doesn't have that. But I think he definitely competes with those guys. I wouldn't be that surprised if he does beat them. Do I favor him to beat them? No, I don't. But I wouldn't be completely shocked, like, whoa, that's the upset of the year, man. This is Buster Douglas on Tyson. No, I wouldn't be that surprised. So I one at 160, I think he does all right.
Ed, he won't even beat Conor Ben at 160. How about that? He won't. He won't beat Conor Ben at 160. He won't. Now you're trapped. I got you with a counter. You can't even counter that. He won't. Can he even counter Ben?
Ed, I like Ramos, but after I thought he was gonna knock Mosley out. I called a knockout on that one.
Okay.
I just thought that he was gonna do much better against Mosley. I'm not a big Mosley fan. Was a fan of his father, but not of this kid. I don't dislike him, but I don't follow him. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple of his fights. I'm not impressed with him. I thought he was gonna knock him out, but because he didn't, the way he looked against him, like I said, Mikey called it, other than Mosley winning, but he said exactly how they were going to fight. But I'm telling you, I wasn't impressed. And because of the way he fought against Mosley, who we agree is not at the level of Carlos Adames, Janibek, or even Lara, dude, I don't see him. Yeah, he could win. Of course, anybody could win on a good night, but I don't think he's that competition. I don't think he's going to be a world champion at 160. I do not see him a world champion.
You know who I was more impressed with in that fight was Mosley Jr. And the reason why I'm more impressed with him, and I dropped the short right after the fight, the reason why I'm more impressed with him is because this kid grew up with millions of dollars around him. He doesn't have to box. He doesn't have to fight. He doesn't need to be in there, fighting the way he does, man. And this dude showed a warrior's heart. Mosley Jr. did. Is he a good boxer? Is he a good boxer? No, not by any means. But I was really impressed with Mosley Jr. because I was like, you know what? This kid does not need to be fighting. This kid does not need to be, getting into this war. Now, I don't want to exaggerate like this was Gotti versus Ward or Pacquiao versus Marquez, but it was a good, a nice little battle of a fight. And I'm just like, this kid that grew up with millions of dollars around him still got heart. I like that, man. I was more impressed. I was more impressed with Mosley Jr. still having a warrior spirit, even though he was raised with a silver spoon and millions of dollars around him. I applaud that dude, because a lot of people that are raised like that, they don't have that dog inside of them, but he does. So I was just like, you know what? If this is his last fight, he's 34. If this was his last fight, I'm proud of the way he goes out. If he goes out this way, I hope he does. I hope he does, because I'm like, you know what, you put on a good performance.
I thought
So
he was 30, and he's 34.
34.
I thought he was
He's
30.
34. Yeah, he's 34.
Oh, 34.
34.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Mostly,
that's still that ship sailed.
yeah,
Yeah.
that ship just sailed. He was on one of the shows, the Contenders. So that still beats Ramos, knocks him out. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think
Mosley
he.
rocked him. Mosley rocked him a couple times, and Mosley, I don't think I got to look at it. Mosley doesn't have power. He's not known for that, and he rocked him a couple times. Like Jesus. So I don't know. Conor Ben, man.
Shout out to Soul Sounds, man. All right. Hey, guys, let's go ahead and let's get to one that, Mikey, I'm going to say you're 90% right on this one coming up. Oshaki Foster versus Stephen Fulton.
He was.
Yeah, 90% right. It wasn't.
What? Not 100?
Nah, no. Okay, because it wasn't that boring. There was some action.
No.
But you're right. It did not live up to the expectations. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more of a battle. It really wasn't. Gosh, it was such a one-sided fight, man, with Oshaki and Fulton. And, well, before I get to that, I'll start with you, David. What's your thoughts on this co-main event between Foster and Fulton?
Mikey was right. It was a very boring fight. They're both counter punchers, and the reason why Foster looked so great against that gentleman, they mentioned him last week that he fought in Cancun, and his last fight was he was fighting guys that were attacking him, and they were both counter punching each other. And Mikey was 100% right on, 99% right on that one.
Okay. Mikey, you called it for the most part. It wasn't that boring, but it wasn't a barn burner either, dog. How did you see this fight?
I mean, Ed, we know the green print. We know the blueprint, aka the green print. When you get a black fighter, African American fighter, not black fighter, African American fighter, and a Mexican or a Chicano fighter, it's gonna be war. It's gonna be exciting. When you get two African American boxers, counter punchers, it's not the antidote for a high explosive war, a fight. This isn't the 80s, guys. So we can do a little survey. When's the last time two black African American fighters made like a crazy war, crazy exciting fight? They're technical, and that's great too. No disrespect, but I know it was gonna be like this, and I just thought that not Foster, but what's his name? Fulton was going to give a little bit of it, but Oshaki Foster had him under control in that mid-range switch stance, using that jab, using his length, and he didn't even need to go for the knockout. He won. He did a shutout, 12-0. He won every single round convincingly. He hurt him. He made him bleed. And the only thing, he didn't step on the gas to knock him out. But hey, man, we still witnessed great boxing skills by Oshaki Foster. But I called it. Like I said, once again, I told you so. I told you so. It wasn't going to be a war. It wasn't going to be knockouts or body shot. None of that. It was just straight punches. And he didn't let Shockey Foster didn't let Fulton do anything. He was a smaller guy, kept him in the outside, and freaking just boxed him to death. Easy money, easy work.
And Ed, I called a war on that one.
Yeah,
so you called a war? And you guys called Foster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you called Foster on that. Don't forget to say that.
I thought Fulton was gonna win, and David and I said Fulton and David and I thought it was gonna be a war. We thought it was gonna be a war, man. Because I both of these guys, well, more Foster than Fulton, but they bang. You know, Fulton's a little bit more strategic. He doesn't bang as much. But okay, so look. Yeah, was it a barn burner? No. Was it a war fight? No, it wasn't that boring, but it wasn't exciting either. It did not live up to my expectations, not even close to it. Here's what I'll say, man. Fulton missed weight, right, by over 2 pounds. So then they made it, the WBC made it into a freaking 135-pounder interim title, whatever it was. Foster looked a lot bigger in that ring than Fulton. I was like, wow. Like, okay, it was Fulton that didn't make weight. Yet Foster, the night of the fight, he looked a lot bigger than him. And he just completely took him to school. Fulton had no answer, couldn't get on the inside, couldn't get close to him. Foster was landing just nothing but 1-2s. I agree, man. I think if Foster really wanted to turn up the gas, which I believe he probably should have, he could have probably ended the night for Fulton, but he didn't. He just went ahead and scored a shutout, hands down, pretty easily, man. Just putting it to Fulton. I wanted Foster to do more and just say like, okay, I'm gonna finish him off because it seemed like he really could have. But he looked a lot bigger than Fulton. He did, man. So now from here, David, where do both of these guys go? Well, what's next for Fulton and what's next for Foster?
Well, Foster gave up that interim belt at 135. He's going to stay world champion at 130. 130, and he wants to unite the belts. Fulton now doesn't know where the heck he's going to go. And I agree with you, Pomona Souls. He did take him to school, without a doubt. 12 rounds, like Mikey said, took him to school. So I don't know where Foster. I think Fulton. I think Fulton is going to go up to 135. But I think he's going to be the gatekeeper. I don't see him being a world champion again. Not at 135 and not at 140. He doesn't have the heart.
Okay. Mikey, where does Foster and Fulton go?
Yeah, I didn't like that move by Foster going down. There's big fights at what, 130, 135, 130, 135?
Yeah. I mean, he was coming from 126 to 130 and he didn't make that weight. So this fight was at 135 now.
Are you talking about Fulton or Foster?
Foster. No, I mean Fulton. No, Foster. Shockey Foster. I want him to move up to fight what's El Camarón or move up and fight Shakur Stevenson. I think he'll give Shakur Stevenson probably because he's got length and he's a switch hitter. Where Shakur Stevenson does the Floyd Mayweather and he does the Philly shell and the antidote to beat the Philly shell is a southpaw. You can't do the Philly shell versus a southpaw and Shockey Foster could turn southpaw and give him problems. Black fighter, fast, counter puncher, and could step it up too. So I'm like, and they've been talking trash on Twitter and all that. So I'm like, dude, this guy, Shockey's got the skill and the IQ to give him problems. Shakur Stevenson's not Floyd, man. They're comparing him to Floyd. He's not Floyd. He's beatable. He's boring. But yeah, he moved down. I didn't like that move. I mean, he should have stayed up there.
Mikey, you don't think that him against Vaquero is going to be a good fight? Him against that Sugar, that new fighter
Nunez.
from Nunez?
Yeah, Sugar Nunez?
Yeah, you don't see those being good fights at 130? I mean,
I think I see a better fight versus Camarón.
Against Vaquero.
What about Camarón?
Well, I mean, Camarón, he's at 135, but this guy, I think he has the potential of uniting the belts at 130. I think I think he does, and then he goes up, fight Camarón.
Yeah, no, I want him to move up to at least 140. But Shakur's probably not even going to wait for no one at 140. He's already, at 135.
No,
he's gonna stay at 140.
He's not done. He's not coming back after his fight with Teofimo Lopez. I don't see him coming back to 135.
And just Fulton, word around the street, word around the curb. I heard that Danny Garcia he opened a new bar in Philadelphia, and Fulton was there drinking, out of shape. He was at that bar partying. That's why he didn't make weight. That's what the word on the curb. If he's not taking boxing serious, he's been knocked out. I see a decline in him. So no, I don't know. I don't know what's next for him. He's too little for those big weights. I think he should go down, lose weight, and go down. But he can't even do that.
Yeah, you know what? It looked like he had a little bit of a gut on him. He had a little pancita going on. So if that's the case, which you know what, this guy looked like he was having a promising career. With the fight that he had with the heartbreaker, Figueroa, back-to-back fights. I mean, he lost bad to anyway, but that's anyway. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have the passion for it anymore, or I don't know if he ever did. I got no idea. But yeah, he didn't look engaged into this one. I was thinking that he did not make the weight strategically because he didn't want to drain himself. That was not the case, man, because there was nothing strategic that he was doing in that ring. He just couldn't get anything going. He was completely outclassed. And he was even still the smaller guy. Even though he's the one that blew the weight, he was still the smaller guy. Fulton looked a lot bigger than him, and there was no way he could have found a way to get on the inside without catching a good 1-2. And all night long, man, he was just catching leather right to the mascara. And I was just like, damn, this dude, I think he's done. I think he is done. I think we might see him come back here and there to make a couple of extra bucks, but it's not going to be anything big. It's not going to be anything major. I think his career, the future of his career, we've seen the best of his career. The future of his career now is just a couple of bucks here and there in some low-level fights. As far as Foster goes, this dude's pretty big. You know, I was a little surprised. I'm like, okay, this guy could go to 135. You know, he could do some damage. I would like to see him fight at 135. I'd like to see him get in there against some of those guys. This guy's got heart, man. This guy, I like Foster. I am a fan of Foster. So this dude, what he did down, what was it in? Was it in
Cancun?
Cancun, yeah, against Rocky Hernandez, I believe it was. That sucker was a battle. That was a war. I'm like, okay, this dude is straight battle tested. He's battle tested. So as long as he keeps brushing up on the skills, because you can't fight every fight like that. Every fight just can't be bite down on your mouthpiece and let's go Vatos Locos forever. That's not going to win you every fight. But we know at least he's got that dog in him. If he brushes up on some skills, he could be dangerous. I don't know if I would favor him against every person, but I'd like to see him stay at 135 and do some movidas right there. So it'd be fun to watch him at 135. I think there's some good matchups there.
Hey, Ed, how do you think he'll do against Vaquero?
That'd be fun, man. That'd be fun.
He has to stay at 130 to fight him.
You know, if he goes to 130, okay. Vaquero has fought at 135 before.
And he lost.
He got
spanked. He got spanked at 135. One time.
Yeah, look, if he wants to go back to 130, I'm fine with it. I think the more exciting fights are at 135. Maybe that's the one fight right there, David. At 130, that's probably the most exciting right there. Vaquero, who actually has a fight coming up soon. So
against Sugar Nunez.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, that should be Demetrio, you're not right, dog. Come on, man. Let's see. Keyshawn wanted 2 mil. Hitchens wanted 2.5 mil. Both priced themselves out of the fight. Yeah. So Foster, yeah, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. I definitely want to follow his career and see what happens next with Foster. Fulton, yeah, I think the best of Fulton is behind him, and it's just, I think, honestly, guys, I think we're just gonna see a sad drop of Fulton, man, and some sad fights, But, gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's get to the main event that took place. It was a majority draw. One judge had it for Pitbull Cruz. The other two judges had it for a draw. Okay. Look, man, I don't know what anybody else is watching. I thought it was pretty clear that Lamont Roach won this fight. David, okay. Well, we're gonna get into it. Because there's somebody in the chat that texted me right after and told me, and he was surprised that I thought Lamont Roach won the fight. He's like, wow. He's like, all right. So let's get into it because everybody's fighting about this, man. So let's go. Let's take no prisoners. All right. Let's not take any prisoners here. All right, David, go for it. What's your thoughts?
You know what? I had 7-7-5 for Roach. I had a Roach because I gave the last 2 rounds to Pitbull. I gave the first, I believe, 4 rounds or first 3 rounds to Pitbull. If Lamont Roach fought a great fight, because he changed after the 5th round. He changed after the 5th round and he started boxing him. His coaches were telling him to box and he wasn't listening to him, and if he would have continued fighting in the inside, he would have got knocked out. He would have, without a doubt, he would have got knocked out. I'm okay with the draw, but like I said, I had Fulton winning by just 1 round. I had him winning by 1 round, but I'm okay with the draw. I'm okay with the draw.
You
But
had
I
Roach.
had, I'm sorry, I had Roach
Roach.
winning by 1 round. I had Roach winning by 1 round, but when I heard the draw, I was okay with it. I wasn't pissed off over it. And yeah, and
Okay.
then they did say that he broke his hand in the 5th round. Maybe, Gordito, maybe that's why he started boxing.
Ah.
Maybe that's why. That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
because it was right around that time
It
that
was that time.
strategic that he changed his plan, he changed his
Yeah.
fighting style, and he wasn't brawling back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, Mikey, you're the voice of a lot of raza out there that's saying that Pitbull Cruz won this fight, man. How did you see this, Mikey?
All right, first of all, I was the voice before the fight. People didn't give me a chance. Nobody gave me a chance. I was at the gym. No, man, are you kidding me? My little cousins, my friends at the gym, nobody like, dude, Pitbull Cruz has a chance. And he did. They took that point away from him. Pitbull Cruz could have won the fight. He could have won that fight. I said it. Lamar Roach is not a boxer. I was watching tape. He's not a boxer like Shakur Stevenson type. He can box. I saw some boxing skills, but he can't box. He likes to bang. And if he bangs, Pitbull Cruz had a chance. Pitbull Cruz hurt him, but he didn't knock him out. Pitbull Cruz doesn't have the power at that. It doesn't translate, but he can hurt you, etc., etc. But in the early rounds, I give the early rounds 1 through 5. I give 3 to 4 to Pitbull Cruz. The adjustments or the broken hand, quote unquote, because Tank Davis broke his hand versus Pitbull Cruz. I give it to Lamar Roach. But and that's when Pitbull Cruz got frustrated. You see how he was dancing, taking his tongue out because he was boxing himself because he was trying to figure it out. But then he stepped on the gas in the last couple of rounds, and that's what got him that draw. But if they never would have took that point out, he would have won the fight. Close fight, controversial close fight.
I agree, Mikey. I agree.
It wasn't a robbery.
They shouldn't have taken that point. Ed, do you believe they should have taken that point?
No, because and if they did, they should have took one out on Lamar Roach because he was also being dirty. I get it. You have to get him back because Pitbull Cruz started jumping with that elbow and started hitting him. I don't know, not behind the head. He was doing some dirty stuff. I get it, and that's when Lamar Roach was doing dirty stuff too. They both got frustrated. Lamar Roach was frustrated too. So it was a close fight, guys. I don't know, and then Pitbull Cruz hurt him a couple times, but draw. It's not a robbery, but it was a controversial draw. But I think if they never would have took that point out for Pitbull Cruz, he won the fight close by a nose hair, but he won the fight.
By a Jewish nose hair.
I can't say that. We're going to get canceled.
Those dudes have bullshit coming out.
Hey, you can't say that. Dude.
Oh, okay. I just did. What that's for us.
Okay, look, man.
You said you saw what happened to Charlie Kirk?
Okay, look. Okay, for sure it wasn't a robbery. It was not a robbery. The draw was not a robbery either way. Okay, that's nowhere. I'm not saying that, not even close, that it was a robbery. Okay, what I'm saying is at the end of this fight, all things considered, both points taken away, right? Well, 1 point taken away, the other one is a knockdown. Okay, you tally all that up. I really had Lamar Roach winning this fight. I really did. Look, I'm not gonna be biased because one guy's being dirty. Okay, if one guy's being dirty, that's fine. You still got to score the fight. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. People are loving this Pitbull Cruz guy. And he's fun to watch. He is fun.
They love him.
Yeah, they do love him. And he is fun to watch. I'm not saying he's fun to watch. And I'm not saying I'm not a fan of his. But can the raza stop with that? This is the next big Mexican star. No, he's not, dog. This dude is a dirty ass little vato, man. He is a dirty ass vato. This dude was hitting below the belt. He was hitting the thighs.
He's a cochino. He's a cochino.
That's how Maidana fights.
He's a straight cochino, man. He's a straight cochino. He really is. He's hitting the thighs. He's hitting the legs. He's hitting. This dude's dirty. He's jumping with his with his shoulder. Like you said, Mikey, he was frustrated. The 10-second clap. He's walking away, walking back to his corner, gets to his knees and starts sticking his tongue out like, dog, okay, this dude, he's fun to watch. I like watching him fight. I am a fan. He's a dirty ass little vato. Let's be honest with that. Did he win this fight? No, I don't think he won this fight. I don't think he won this fight. I don't think it was even controversial where it's like, oh, man, you know what? I think Pitbull really won this fight. Like, really? You really saw that? Now, the draw, the thing that upsets me with the draw is the fact that one judge had it for Pitbull. It's like, wait a second. If a judge had it for Roach and then it was a draw, majority draw, then I'd say, okay. But this thing, I'm okay with the point deduction. I really am. He was doing some dirty stuff. I'm not saying Lamont
Roach also was doing it, though. He was also doing it.
I'm not saying he wasn't, Mikey. I'm not saying he wasn't, but not to the extent that Pitbull was. Not to that extent.
I don't think he was warned enough. I don't think he was warned enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he was fighting dirty, but I don't remember seeing him warn him maybe more than one, maybe twice. And then all of a sudden taking the point, I'm like, what? He wasn't warned enough. I mean, we've seen fights where they warn these guys 30 times and they still don't take a point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there's room for that argument. I can't fight against that too much. Look, as you guys were saying about Ramos, and it's not you guys right here, but like on Instagram and stuff, where people are posting Pitbull and the next big Mexican star. I'm like, okay, the way you guys talked about Ramos, like I don't see anything special in him. I get it. I don't see anything special in Pitbull. I don't see anything special in him. He's fun to watch. He's a warrior, and he's fun to watch. Yes, I don't see anything special in this guy. And this dude became a star because he lost to Tank Davis, and people thought that he possibly came close to beating Tank Davis. That's how he became a star. Ever since then, what has this dude really done? I mean, he beat
Ed, I disagree with you. I went to a couple of his fights when he was coming up.
Yeah.
Dude, La Raza loved Pitbull.
Okay.
Even before Davis. I remember I went to Inglewood to one of the fights, I believe Triple G. I don't remember exactly where, but when Pitbull came in, he was just coming up. Everybody standing ovation. I was going, who the heck is this little guy? And I mean, he was famous before Tank Davis. I think Tank Davis, that just gave him a little, but I think the Raza has always loved him. I think for whatever reason, they love the little changuito.
Okay. And David, you may be right, but he did not make it mainstream until Tank Davis.
Yeah. So with the negros and the gabachos, no, they know. But the Raza, dude, the Raza love Pitbull.
Here, okay. Look, here's where it is when it comes to Pitbull. Okay. People want to give Pitbull credit for what? He's done what Tank Davis has done. He beat Rolly Romero, which Tank Davis did already. He has a draw with Lamont Roach, which Tank Davis already did. What is Pitbull doing that is really exciting? He's put in exciting fights. I get that. But who is he fighting? I don't see him fighting anybody like that.
Well, didn't he knock out? Well, he didn't knock out Barrios, right? He knocked out Rolly.
He knocked out Rolly. I mean, Tank Davis knocked out Rolly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get the big hype with this guy other than the fact that he's exciting to watch. But this dude is not the next big face of Mexican boxing. And he's a dirty-ass vato. And him getting on his knees and sticking his tongue out like that, I get it. It's trying to hype the fans up. I understand that part. But I don't really see anything special about this guy. I don't think there's anything special about Lamont Roach. He should have beat Lamont Roach. He should have beat him to solidify, like, no, listen, I am the real deal. But look, nobody wants to give Tank Davis any credit for
Ed, you don't think Tank Roach is Ed, you don't think there's something special about about Roach?
No.
I mean, he beat Pitbull. I mean, he beat Tank Davis.
I agree.
Beat Tank Davis.
I agree.
And who's been able to beat Tank Davis? I mean, Roach convincingly beat Tank Davis, and they stole that fight from him.
I agree. So
that doesn't make him special, Ed?
I mean, in his fighting skills, David, I don't think so, man. I don't think he's anywhere near elite. I think he's a good, decent little fighter. Yeah.
But I mean, fighting
But that's what
against
I think
Pitbull,
about, that's what I
I
think about
mean,
Pitbull as well.
I know, but fighting
I
against
think
Pitbull, I mean, he could have done a Rayo Valenzuela. He could have
Yes.
ran all night long, and we would have been pissed today saying another boring fight. But Rayo beat him boxing, and I
Right.
think Roach had that training to do that, but he chose to fight him until, like Gordo Gordito said, he broke his hand. And I was wondering, I didn't know he had broken his hand. I was happy that he changed his style because that's what won him the fight. Because if he would have stayed in with him, there's no doubt at all, Mikey, he would have got knocked out. Even though you're saying that Pitbull doesn't, I think Pitbull does have the power, and I think he would have knocked him out if he would have stayed. So breaking his hand saved his fight.
yeah. I think I understand what Dave's saying, but I also understand what you're saying, Ed. I think Lamont Roach fought Tank Davis. This Tank Davis that wasn't focused. Tank Davis going down, not training. Tank Davis, and he was a sparring partner for a long time, so he knew who he was uh, in the ring. He knew everything. He knew it's like he was fighting in the mirror, and he was shooting a shot. He was getting countered. He already knew what moves he was going to do before he made them. And Tank Davis was like, "Damn, this guy knows me."
Yes,
And
he
I
did.
think
You're right.
so.
Yeah.
I think that he got Tank Davis at a perfect time. And I don't think Tank Davis is improving. He's going. I don't even know what's going on with his career. So I think he got Tank Davis at a perfect time, and he beat him, but they gave him a draw because he did hurt. He did hurt him. He did touch the canvas. He called timeout and went to the corner and they wiped his face. That was ridiculous for boxing, and they gave him a chance because they don't want Tank Davis to lose. So I think he got him at a perfect time. So when you're saying he did the same thing as Tank Davis, uh, Tank Davis lost that fight, but Lamar Roach beat him at a perfect time. And I don't think Lamar Roach is special, like you said, in his boxing skills, but he does have good IQ. Maybe you could say that. But maybe in this fight he didn't show good IQ because his trainers were telling him, "Hey, you gotta box, and he wasn't listening. No. So I don't know. I don't see him as special, Dave. But
well, I don't see him. I don't see him special, Mikey. I don't see him special, but I don't see him a dummy either. You know what I mean?
He's not a bum. He's not a bum. No, he's not a bum. And he's definitely got dog in him. He definitely has heart. He definitely Lamont Roach, yes, and he could score, get some good victories. But I'm just, like I see just so much of the raza, behind Pitbull, which is fine if everybody wants to cheer him. I don't see anything special in Pitbull Cruz. No. I don't. And a lot of the things that people want to credit Pitbull for, I'm not a big Tank Davis fan. I'm not. But everything that people give credit to Pitbull for, Tank Davis already did. Tank Davis already knocked out Roldy. Tank Davis already fought Lamont Roach. The whole Mario Barrios thing. If Pitbull did fight Mario Barrios, Tank Davis already fought him. So I just I don't really see much, and honestly, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, man. That the way he fights, he's a little dirty ass vato. He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. I am a fan of Pitbull. I don't want to mistake anything what I'm saying here. Okay, I am a fan of watching him fight. He's fun to watch fight. There's nothing special about him though. He brings the action, which is cool. It's fun to watch. He's nowhere near the next face of boxing. And sticking his tongue out like that and everything. I just, nonetheless, I thought Roach won. Afterwards, Pitbull said, "I'm not Tank Davis. I'll give you the rematch." Now it comes out that Pitbull is not interested in the rematch. His team has came out and said that they're not interested in the rematch, that they're going after titles. David, what's your thoughts on what's next for Pitbull and Lamont Roach?
I don't. I'm trying to think who the champions are at 140. Who are the champions at 140? You got Teofimo Lopez, which will probably be his last fight at 140.
I think so. Yeah,
January 31st against Shakur Stevenson. So that belt is probably going to be open. You got Gary Russell, Antoine Russell. Dude, I don't see him close to. I think Gary, Antoine, whatever. There's two brothers.
Right.
Whomever the champion is at 140, I think he is the GOAT at 140 right now. I don't see him beating. And who's the other
Hitchens,
champion?
Hitchens, and
Is
Oh,
it,
Matias.
is it,
I'd love to see Pitbull fight Hitchens. I got Pitbull over that one. I can't stand that guy Hitchens. Who's the other one, Mikey?
Matias, Sabril, Matias. That's a
is
banger.
it is
That would be a good
Subrio,
fight.
right? Yeah.
Yes, that would be a good fight.
Sabril. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what would you want to see from Lamont Roach, David?
Lamont Roach, I think he just stays where he's at. You know what I mean? I think that he should stay at. He came from 130, right? He was a champion at 130. He went to 135. I think he's still a champion at 130. Go back to 130 and fight Foster, Shockey Foster. That would be a damn good fight. Go back to 130. Go back to 130 because I think he's still champion, right, guys? He's still champion. Never
Let me
gave
see.
him the belt.
Yeah, Lamont Roach. Yeah, he's a champion.
Yes. Okay, so I got it right here. Lamont Roach is still champ. He's WBA champ at 130 pounds. Yes, and the four champions at 140 right now is Teal, Richardson, Hitchens, Antoine Russell, and Subrio Matias. Yes.
Okay, have Pitbull fight Matias, and then have Roach go back to 130 and fight Foster. That'd be a
good fight. That'd be a good fight. Yeah, I would like to see that. All right, Mikey, what do you want to see next from Roach and Pitbull?
Yeah, Pitbull. I want to see him versus Sabril Matias. That's a banger fight. Okay. I like that fight. And then Gary Russell, man, he can box, but he also can bang. So and Gary Russell has balls, man. He's down.
He does,
so
man.
that could be an antidote for a good fight too. But I'm gonna favor Russell. But no one has ever knocked out or hurt Pitbull Cruz. So Gary Russell's down to bang with you. He brought it to Rayo. So that's a good fight right there.
He spanked Rayo.
He spanked Rayo. He shot so many shots. Rayo couldn't. It was just too many. He was on him too much. So that's a good fight. Hitchens is like a boxer. I don't know. I got to study him. And then the Teal fight. Teal versus I think Teal will school him. Yeah, Teal's got boxing skills. And then all right, let's just say he moves down to 135. Abdullah Mason. That's a good fight versus the kid Morataya. There's some good fights there.
Oh yeah.
At a rematch with Gervonta Davis, if they gives it to him, or like you guys said at 130. So you could put him in there in those weight classes. He can go down in those weight classes or stay in that position. He can compete at 140. He's got the skill set. So I mean, and then for Pitbull Cruz, I said it already. I want the Matias fight or the Russell fight. Those two fights.
You know what, Pomona Soul? I just thought about that. And he posted it. Keyshawn Davis, he's a threat too at 140.
Oh yeah,
Keyshawn Davis.
Keyshawn Davis, yeah.
Remember him? The one
that can't make weight. Can't make weight.
His brother.
Yeah, he doesn't make weight, and he wants to jump you after you got in the ring in the back. Yeah. Keyshawn Davis. Hey, look, okay. I mean, there's a lot of great fights for both of these guys, man. I don't think either one of these guys lost any stock. And you know what? I'm actually kind of happy for Lamont Roach. It looks like people are a lot more interested in him because nobody was really talking about Lamont Roach until he scored that draw against Tank Davis, and now people are a little bit more interested. So I'm kind of happy with him, even though he was robbed of that victory over Tank, which he should have won, which he did win that fight. He was robbed of that. He gained interest. People do want to see him fight, and he is fun to watch. I do like watching him fight. The guy does bring it. So if he moves back down to 130, I mean, yeah, him against Foster would be great. If he wants to go 135, I mean, there's a lot of great fights right there. You know, crazy enough, what's happening with Gervonta Tank Davis is he is saying that he's probably now open to a Pitbull Cruz rematch because there's probably more fight. There's more money there than if he fights anybody else at 135. Abdullah Mason, Murataya, and I don't think he's a fight. Shakur Stevenson is still a champ at 135, but he's he's gonna be fighting Tio at 140. So I think Tank is actually serious about fighting Pitbull this time because his money's running dry, and he's not going to get one of these big paydays with a Jake Paul anymore. So I think he is serious about fighting Pitbull. So maybe that does happen, and that'd be fun to watch. So we'll see what happens. But either way, both of these guys, man, I like watching them fight. I'm a fan of both of them. I just like I said, I think Pitbull, he's a little dirty vato, man. I've said it a few times. Just the way he fights and everything. He's a little dirty vato, but he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. Let's get to that guy, Pomona, because he is fighting tomorrow. We do have a fight card tomorrow. Let's see. It is up in Stockton on the Zone. I went ahead and I canceled my Zone subscription. Just not enough. But let's go ahead and talk about Tito Mercado. He's fighting a guy, Moran. David, what's your thoughts about Tito Mercado? It's a 10-rounder. It's just, some tune-up fight for him.
First of all, who's promoting Tito Mercado?
I don't know. Is this Matchroom? This is a Matchroom event. So I don't know if he's actually with Eddie Hearn.
I think he's with Eddie Hearn. He
might be with Eddie Hearn. There's an Eddie Hearn event, David, but I can't tell you that he's with Matchroom, though.
You know what? This guy, Tito Mercado, he's the real deal. And he's fighting at 140. He's the real deal, and he's ready now to fight the champions. Whomever is promoting him is doing crap. They are not promoting him enough. He's going to get old quick. His chances are right now. I just think that if it's Oscar de la Hoya, Golden Boy, if it's Eddie Hearn, whomever is promoting him, they need to get up off their ass, and they need to really promote this kid because I believe that he is the real deal. I mean, when was the last time he fought? About a year ago. He's only fighting like one time a year. And you know what? I saw him fight. He's the real deal. He just needs a better promotional company. I'm watching the fights tomorrow because of him. Not because of Pacheco. I'm watching it because I want to see him. I like that kid. I like watching him. He's a knockout artist.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. He has a record of 17-0. And unless you're a hardcore boxing fan, you got no idea who this guy is. And even if you are a hardcore boxing fan, you still don't know much about this guy.
And Ed, he has like 16 knockouts, right? How many knockouts?
Let's see.
16.
16. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's another Virgil Ortiz. But nobody knows about him other than people in Pomona and Southern California, a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, Mikey, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, it's a tune-up. He was injured. He's coming off an injury, so they're giving him a tune-up. I believe he's getting managed or promoted by Eddie Hearn, I think. Because, I think he's promoted by Eddie Hearn because last time I saw something and I saw them together. I don't know. Tito Mercado, man, that's the name that like hardcore fans are saying that he is a name you could throw in there in the what weight class? 140? The 140 division?
140. Yeah, 140.
Yeah, you throw him in there, he's hot. But we're like we were saying, Ed, in the beginning, we're hard on everybody on Emiliano Vargas or what's the heavyweight Chicano that we're hard on?
Richard Torres Jr.
Richard Torres Jr. and we're not hard on Tito Mercado. Like, no, man, Tito Mercado needs to step it up. He has some names that we know, like Pedraza and Nakatalia, but those guys they've been knocked out before, or they have losses. They're just good names, and he did what he had to do. He destroyed them, whatever. But it's time, dude. It's time for him to he talks a lot on Twitter and on social media. He talks trash to Shakur, to everybody that I'll whoop him. They only last 3 rounds. They give him names, Tio, whatever. It's time to step it up, or else I'm not even going to believe in him no more. Because
you know what, Mikey? I don't think it's up to him. I think it's up to Eddie Hearn. Because you know what, the kid I like about him too is he's not even a Chicano. I think he's like
half Mexican, half Nicaragua or something.
Yeah, something like that. And you know what? He does call everybody out, and I believe that he could back it up. All we need to do is get Eddie Hearn to promote him as much as he's promoting all these other fighters that he has. Making him, I mean, like he promoted that piece of crap. What's his name? Berlanga. You know what I mean? He got him a fight with Canelo. He needs to
Yeah.
put that same energy into Tito Mercado or fire him. Get rid of him. He needs to go
Okay.
with and let him go with Turkey. I'm surprised Turkey isn't trying to pick this kid up. He's the real deal. I like him.
Well, I mean, just like before we went on live, Mikey and I were talking. It's like, okay, people are bringing up Emiliano Vargas. Like, hey, when's it time for him to step it up? Emiliano Vargas doesn't have 17 fights. Richard Torres Jr. doesn't have that many fights. Tito has 17 fights, and nobody's putting any pressure on him. So, I mean, when's it time for this guy to step it up? You know. So I like Tito. I'm a fan of his. Definitely be watching this tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with John Cena's final match. Because he's having his final match tomorrow, but I'll definitely be watching this. But yeah. And at 140, I mean, this kid eventually he might end his career. Who knows? At 154, 160. So I do think he is the real deal. I do, even though he's not really fighting anybody right now. I still would think this kid's the real deal. The eyeball test just shows the skills on this guy. But so we'll see what's up with that, gentlemen. Gabriel Flores is getting back into the ring. He's had somewhat of a, I don't know, man, kind of like a roller coaster of a career. People were big on him once upon a time. He got completely smashed by the who was it from south of the border that came up and gave it to him?
Yeah,
he got knocked out really bad not too long ago.
Yeah,
he got knocked out bad.
He got beat
what was
up.
his name? Not
Badly.
Cameron. Venado.
Venado.
It was Venado.
Venado Lopez. Venado Lopez. Yes. Okay, well, he's getting in there against the European Cordina. I've seen Cordina fight a few times. Cordina's 18-1. Flores is 27-2. Cordina's 34 years old, though. Flores is still just 25. David, I'll start with you on this one. What do you see in this?
He's getting knocked out.
Exactly.
Yes, Flores getting knocked out.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cordina's good. Cordina's a very good. I think he was a former world champion, right? Or is a world champion. He's very good. Yeah. He's. I believe he's a world champion, Ed. If you check.
Let's see.
For a former world champion, he's good.
Yeah, no, Cordina. Yeah, Cordina's been around, especially in the UK, across the pond. He's been around the block a few times over there. So okay, so this is it for Flores. That's what you're saying, David?
I think he's biting too much with Cordina. I think it's going to be a knockout, and especially if Eddie Hearn is promoting it, he's bringing Cordina to knock out Flores.
Okay, that makes sense. Mikey, what's your thoughts on this fight tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, Gabe Flores, for sure he's getting hurt. He's gonna get wobbled, hurt. He has hard, but it's just I don't know. He has no definition in his body. He's always getting hurt. He's broken goods. Like, I don't think boxing's for this kid, man. Respectfully, but nah, man. He's always getting hurt, and he's been stopped before, but he's always getting hurt and beat up after every fight. He has a good story. His mom died. Rest in peace. I like. He was cocky. I didn't like the kid, like inside the ring, but I have compassion. But no, man. We're not gonna see him nowhere. He ain't going nowhere, man. Respectfully.
You know what, Ed? He should have left his father. No disrespect to his father, but he should have left his father when he got knocked out by Venado. He should have gone to Robert Garcia. Should have gone somewhere else, but he stayed with his father. And no disrespect to his father. Don't know the man, but I just think that Flores outgrew his father.
Yeah. Cordina right here looks like a straight killer, man. He looks like a straight killer.
Yeah.
I just no, Cordina, look at him.
No, no,
Cordina
a straight killer for Flores. Against
for
other guys,
Flores.
maybe not.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
against Flores, oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure. I'm with you guys. I think Cordina puts it to Gabe Flores tomorrow. And not only that, I think Flores says he's done with boxing. Yeah, Mikey, you know what, Mikey? I think that's what attracted everybody to Flores was his story. You know, his mother passing away. He's got one of those stories. And I think a lot of people had some compassion for this kid. And every time he got hurt, started bleeding, people feel bad for him because of the story he came with. But all that being said, man, yeah, I think I think Cordina's gonna let him have it tomorrow, man.
Yeah, he
So
is. He is.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's done. I think do we see Gabe Flores in boxing still, David, after tomorrow?
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, Venado gave it to him, bro. I didn't think he was coming back after Venado, and he's come back in little fights. We haven't seen him on television after Venado. Actually, we did. We saw him on television. He almost got knocked out. He did terrible. That
Yeah.
one time he came back.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think we'll hear about him again. Maybe a club fighter. I hope he saved his money or maybe become a coach. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll become a coach. Have a
Okay.
wonderful life.
Okay, Mikey, is it that bad tomorrow where Flores is gone for good?
He's not gone for good. He's gonna be those guys that you see, and you can see it in their faces. Like, I used to be a boxer, but tan locos, like, and then they work at the gym or they have a job. I don't know. I don't want to be an asshole, but yeah, like he's gonna continue fighting until I don't know, until he gets brain damage, because I don't know why his father keeps exposing him to that. Like, Gabe, like they just touch you and you get hurt. Like, you're not. Flores is a fight treat. Okay, but versus who? Like, dude, that
Yeah,
guy's
versus who? Yeah.
Well, okay, but look, if okay, to Gordo Gordito's credit here, okay, you got to build back up, right? You got to build back up, and maybe this is his first test to say, like, okay, is this kid really coming back or not? So if he is on a five fight winning streak, maybe a bunch of tomato cans, okay, and now this is going to be the test to see if this kid has really got the eye of the tiger back or not. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's in for a bad night.
He fought
And
a
then
guy named Christian Ariola, 15 fights, 6 knockouts. He's and how old is he? A 26-year-old. He looked like a high school kid. He beat him. I mean, I could break down his opponents and dispute whatever Gordo Gordito says. You could have 100-fight streak versus who? Dude, we've seen him get destroyed. Like, I don't know. It's just he doesn't have it. He's not it. Another fighter. Let me see his record. 11 fights, 6 KOs. Like, yeah. What's it? That's
Okay.
Jose Arellano. Dennis Contreras, number 3 in okay, 24 fights, 22 knockouts. Okay, that's not bad. But who the hell's that guy? Uber driver? Yeah, I mean, Ronald, 14
and you know
fights,
what?
11 knockouts.
Pomona Soul
14
Sounds
fights,
with
11
Carlos
knockouts.
Banderas. I agree. He's another Carlos Banderas. Has
Okay.
not a heart, but he only reached a certain level.
Okay. Let's see. His family don't care about him. They don't feel the punches, so they care. Poor fella. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to get too personal into his family stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I it kind of seems that way to a certain extent. Flores only beats 1-star fighters. Okay, it's actually a 6-fight winning streak. Okay, look, and look to that credit. Okay, if he is
The
on a
other 1 star. Yeah.
if he is on a 6 feet a fight winning streak, good, good. That's what you're supposed to do. Build his confidence back up, and now here's the test. And maybe he surprises us all tomorrow. Maybe he
Okay.
does. Maybe he does. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Somebody, gets beat up, right? And it's like, man, you know what? It looks like they just ripped the soul out of them inside the ring. Okay, slowly build them back up. All right, but a bunch of Uber drivers, palatero man and everything like that. Build his confidence back up. And now here's the test. Let's see. Is this kid back or not? And maybe he surprises us all tomorrow. We'll see. But let's get to the main event, guys. We got Diego Pacheco, 24-0 against Sajo. I don't know anything about the Sajo. Kevin Lele Sajo. I don't know anything about him. I could just tell you guys he's undefeated, 26-0. He's 35 years old. He's not as tall as he's only 5'8". Pacheco is 6'4". So, but I will tell you guys this: Sajo, out of the 26 victories, he's got 23 knockouts. So against who? I got no idea. But David, what's your thoughts on this main event tomorrow?
The question that I have for you and Mikey is, who's training him?
Manny Robles, I think.
I think it's Robles. I think it's Robles. There's been footage of him in there with Robles.
Yeah.
Okay, if Robles is training him, I want to see the difference. I want to see the difference between Jose Benavides and Robles, which should be a big, big difference. I want to see him. I think Robles is going to make him more aggressive than Jose Benavides. So I can't wait for this fight. Because I want to see the difference of Manny Robles. I mean, look at Manny Robles. Yeah, I mean, he makes champions. So I want to see the difference. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to it just because now that I know Manny Robles is training him, I want to see the difference on his fighting style.
Does this say anything to you, David? This height difference? Look at this.
Yeah, of course it makes a huge difference. But I'm gonna look at his fighting style. He was another one-trick pony. Do you agree, Mikey? He was another one-trick pony under Jose Benavides.
Yeah.
I think that under Manny Robles it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, look at the way Andy Reese, who's back with Manny Robles again. Look at Valdez, who will probably go back to Manny Robles. I mean, he basically taught him the basics, but he went not only with a 1, 2, but he finished with 3, 4, 5. So I want to see that tomorrow. If he's going to pick up the Manny Robles fighting style.
Mikey, what do you make of this fight?
Yeah, this is a whatever you want to call it, the tune-up, whatever. Hey, Saljo looks good. He has 26 fights, 23 knockouts, 88% knockout ratio, but all the fights are 1-star, 1 or 2-star fighters, and then he fights like in France or in freaking he doesn't fight in the United States and versus who. I don't think they're still trying to build him up, make him a name. I don't think they're gonna throw him in there versus a dangerous guy. This guy has a little bit of power according to what I've seen, but no, it's just a fight. He has a new trainer. You need a couple fights under you to adjust to your new trainer, to work some things out, to like I said, like Dave was saying, work some combinations, work off the jab. How I think he should fight. He should fight a little bit like Shiraz, like that power boxing. Work off that jab, use his length. So I want to see that and get a sensational knockout, and then start putting Pacheco up there with the best at 168. So yeah, Manny Robles is a good move. I believe you, Manny Robles. So knockout tomorrow. I called it.
Yeah, I think he's with Robles. There's been footage of him in the gym there with Robles. Here's what I will say, man. This guy's a lot shorter than him. Diego does work the body. I think he's gonna have a little bit of a tougher time working the body just because the height difference on this. He's definitely gonna be sticking out that jab, those long ass arms out there all night. I don't know if he gets a knockout or a stoppage. Maybe he does. Like I said, I don't know anything about the Sajo guy, but yeah, I think eventually Pacheco is just going to be able to break this guy down and maybe stops him. Maybe the corner stops it. Maybe he's just out of gas. He's 34 years old. All his fights, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know how many times he's fought here in the States, but he definitely has not fought, top competitors, man. So this is definitely going to be more of a showcase fight for Pacheco. So yeah, I got Pacheco.
He looks sucked up. Look
He
at him.
does.
He
Yeah.
looks sucked
He
up,
looks,
man.
yeah, he looks a little sucked up. I think he'll be
Yeah.
well hydrated tomorrow. And yeah, I think at some point he might hit 175. At some point, I don't think next year, or maybe by 2027, I think we see him at 175.
Yeah.
So, all right, gentlemen. Well, that will be the main event tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see. As they say, somebody's always got to go because the Sadjo guy, he's undefeated too. So we'll see what he brings to the table. But anything else, gentlemen, before we wrap it up?
Hey, brother, I'm not sure if I'm going to be in town next week. If I'm not in town, have a Merry Christmas because that's the following week. If I'm not in town, but I should be. Are we having a show next week, Ed?
Yeah. Next week there's no holidays. The week after there is.
Okay, if I'm in town, I will definitely be here. But if I'm not, have a Merry Christmas, brothers.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know if Mikey's been naughty or nice, but we'll find out, man. All right. So, hey, that is a Gran Chingon one, Mr. David Contreras. We got the boxing scientist one, Mr. Mike Zavala, Mikey TV 365, Cholo Truck, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. You guys enjoy the fights tomorrow. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. Catch you guys on the next round.